On our flight today, you get a unique perspective looking down into the crater of this extinct volcano, Joe. Today it's controlled by the United States military, but civilians are allowed to park there in Diamond Head for a fee of $5, and you can hike the Switchback Trail on the inner west rim of the crater to get a view from the high point, similar to this one. Major difference being that requires a little bit more exercise to get than this does. Out to your right, a beautiful view into Diamond Head. Out ahead of us here, Carlene, is the community known as Kahala.
Let's get it on. Yeah, baby. Let's get it on.
Kahala is one of the wealthiest neighborhoods on the island. Home property here, you're supposed to be a minimum of 50% Hawaiian, that's got ahead of myself. Kahala, again, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods with some of the beachfront property. Upwards of $20 million, which has earned this the nickname the Gold Coast of Oahu. Here on the Gold Coast, Joe, you see off to the left the Waialae Country Club, where the PGA Tour plays an event known as the Sony Open, one of the most exclusive and expensive golf courses on the island. Next to it, you see there, Carlene, the white high-rise known as the Kahala Hotel. Kahala Hotel is one of several locations here on the island that you can swim with dolphins in captivity. And if you look carefully, every once in a while, you'll get a glimpse of those dolphins swimming in the lagoon at the base of the hotel.
You know how sweet and wonderful life can be. Yeah.
You notice out ahead of us that all these valleys and ridge tops have been packed full of homes, as developers have not wasted any of the available space here along the stretch of coastline. The ridgetop community you see coming ahead to the left here, Sergey, the big white house at the bottom of it is the Hawaii Lower Ridge. And that white house with the rounded balconies and the pink flowers in front of it, been on the market for the last 5 years at over $8 million. Which I'll just throw out there in case anyone's looking for a vacation home. Now out ahead of us you see here, Ella, all the waterways. That is the community of Hawaii Kai, which was the first planned community here on the island. All those waterways were man-made. This area was artificially flooded by the designers of the township to create what they hoped would resemble a small version of Miami. Whether or not it looks like Miami, I can't tell you. But it is a nice part of the island, between the Ko'olau Mountains that are out to the left. And out to the right here you have a couple of smaller volcanic structures known as Koko Head, which is the point sticking out here, and Koko Crater, which is directly ahead of us. Hawaii Kai is again, a nice part of the island. Live up on the North Shore, but my wife and I do come to church down here, so we are down here a fair amount. In between Koko Head and Koko Crater, you're going to see Hanauma Bay, which is also a volcanic structure. Actually the crater of an extinct volcano that partially collapsed, allowing the Pacific to flood in and fill the crater. Area has since been turned into a natural marine sanctuary, which means no one can fish in the area, which has turned Hanauma Bay into a very abundant marine area. Also one of the most popular snorkeling destinations in the Hawaiian Islands. A good look out to your right there, Joe, at Hanauma Bay. Ahead of us, Koko Crater. And out to the right, clear skies today give us a glimpse of our nearest neighbor island. That is the island of Molokai, some 25 miles out across the channel. Hanauma Bay off to our right here. And as we pass around Koko Crater, you might feel the aircraft bump once or twice. Koko Crater, off to the left there, is the youngest of all the extinct volcanoes on the island. You may know the Hawaiian Islands are all volcanic in nature, but today only the island of Hawaii, which is the youngest island in the state, still has active lava flow remaining on it. Hawaii is also commonly referred to as the Big Island because geographically it is the largest of the Hawaiian Islands. Although here on Oahu we are the site of the state capital, as well as the youngest, or the most populated island in the state. Again, Hawaii is the youngest. But this is the youngest volcano on this island. Today it is a botanical garden that you can tour on horseback from the riding stables you see out to the left at the mouth of the crater. Back out to the right, you're looking at the southeast tip of the island, known as Makapu'u Point, on which you'll see the red-capped Makapu'u Lighthouse, one of the most recognizable landmarks on the island. You can take a short walk from the parking area you see down ahead of us here, Natalie, between the two ridge lines, up the paved pathway that wraps around the point and ends up at a lookout above the lighthouse. Off to your left here, Carlene, you see two small islands offshore. The larger of those two islands is known as Rabbit Island. Got the name because with a little imagination, kind of looks like a rabbit's head maybe. Top of the head at the peak of the island, sloping down to the nose on the right with the ears back behind it off the left. You'll also see down to your left here, Joe, the orange roofs and aquatic pools of Sea Life Park, where Adam Sandler worked with the walrus in the movie 50 First Dates. This is also a location you can swim with dolphins here on the island. Back out to the right here, Joe, a good look at the lighthouse, Makapu'u Point. Now we're going to come around here, Rabbit Island. We'll move out off the right. Sea Life Park will end up in front and back to the left. You'll be able to get a glimpse, Sergey, at the Makapu'u Lighthouse. There's the Makapu'u Lighthouse back to the left. Back ahead of us as well, the Coco Crater and Diamond Head. Now as we come to the right, beautiful day today, clear skies giving us a wonderful view up the eastern coast of the island. And as we turn northbound here and begin headed north along the shoreline, you'll see down to the left the Masters Estate from Magnum PI. You'll see there's a little stone wall that runs along the shoreline and it curves in and touches the beach. That piece of property is the Masters Estate, where you'll see the double-track dirt driveway that Magnum always used to pull up on in his Ferrari. And Carlene, that is now directly down to our left. Out ahead of us here, you see, Natalie, the longest stretch of uninterrupted beach on the island. This is known as Waimanalo Beach, and it stretches over 3 miles. The community here, also known as Waimanalo, one of the most localized communities on Oahu, requiring 50% Hawaiian blood or more to own property in the area. Also home of many of the island's Paniolo. My wife grew up in Southern California, riding a lot of horses and being into the rodeo and all that sort of fun stuff. When the professional bull riding tour came to town, got tickets and went and checked it out, and a lot of those bulls came from ranches here in Waimanalo, as Paniolo is just the Hawaiian word for cowboy. Down to the right here, Joe, you're looking at the remains of the Bellows Air Force Base, which was bombed by the Japanese during the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. First wave of Japanese aircraft would flying across the